We are currently en route to meet Rob, who runs an organization which gives aid to homeless people living in Las Vegas. There are currently between 1,500 to 2,000 people living in tunnels underneath the city. Feeling a little bit apprehensive because the bits of Vegas I've seen so far are very, very different to what I'm about to witness.
You got time. Time is never on your side. Feel your mind. Get taken for a ride.
Rob is a recovering addict and used to live in the tunnels underneath Vegas before managing to completely turn his life around. He now works to help those living rough in the city. How aware are the people who come to Vegas about the poverty going on?
Not so much, right? It's not something that they want to really talk about.
Yeah.
Especially because tourism is a big moneymaker. The only reason we have homeless is because nobody's figured out how to make money off it. They figured out how to make money off weed. Everybody's got weed everywhere. It's not helping human beings.
Yes.
They're going to take you underground.
Presumably there might be people that don't want a camera in their face. Is safety something to be mindful of?
The same as if you were walking through a neighborhood at night, you know.
Feeling a little bit apprehensive, just safety should be fine, but also might not be. So a little tiny bit shaky. I've heard and read stories about other filmmakers going down into the tunnels and having guns flashed at them, getting chased off. Generally not being welcome down there. It's hard not to think about this stuff as you're walking towards the entrance. Inside the tunnels, it's pitch black. You can't see anything in front of you. There's debris all over the floor, everywhere you step. So we're walking through, it's kind of dark. Have to stay very much to the right-hand side because there is quite a large body of water to our left.
Shine a light. Anybody home?
Right on, bro. How you guys doing? Is that okay if I step over this? Right on.
Is this all stuff that's washed up here?
I'm just telling you a thing, I'm going to keep it down.
Yeah. How you guys doing?
Hey, we'll call the crews over this.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.
We soon find someone to talk to. His name is Hassel and has lived in the Vegas tunnels for 3.5 years.
That's all right. It's in your belt here. You got a knife or something. Did you have something else the other side?
Like one knife on my hip at all times. It's just something that I have to have down here. Tunnels have their own laws, it seems like.
The tunnels have their own laws. What do you mean by that?
You know, down here, out there, if you get caught stealing from one another, you know, you get slapped on the wrist, probably getting kicked out of your camp for a while, whatever. Down here, you could lose your life.
What brought you to Vegas? Was it the tunnels specifically?
No, I'm on the run from the law back to Colorado, and simple charges. I can't stand being caged up in a little box, so I came out here, try to start over, try to start new, and so far, me and her have done pretty damn good. We stay out of the cops' way. I hope we find something like that eventually, but if I can't bring her with me from start to finish, I'm not gonna go. Always keep her with me. That's my whole world right there.
Yeah.
She's my flashlight in the darkness. She's my security. She's my best friend.
If you had the opportunity to come out to be given the help, but she wasn't allowed to come along with you, would that be something that would stop you?
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
Heartbeat. I won't go without her.
She clearly loves you a lot.
Yeah, she's one of the very few that does. I don't have very many people left in this world. My mom, my dad's already gone. I got a couple brothers and a couple sisters out there, but I don't even know if they know where I'm at or if they think I'm still alive or not.
Right.
Take a break. Take a break. Breathe.
What do you sort of sleep on it from a practical sense?
It's everything I got. I mean, my skateboard, my dog, and bag. It's got a couple bare essential survival items in it, and that's it.
What is it you need to get out of here?
I need somebody that cares enough to fucking make sure she stays with me. I'm not gonna let her go through anything without me. She saved my life when I found her. I was done. She gave me a whole different meaning to being here.
What is keeping him here? What is it?
I don't know. Shame, resentment. Like I think he's got a lot of guilt for some things he's done in his past.
We're directly under the Vegas Strip now and get our first glimpse of life above ground.
That is Caesar's Palace.
Caesar's Palace is directly above us. It's Rod Stewart. So literally meters from where we are, there are people spending thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds.
It's an interesting dichotomy that that's a multi-billion-dollar casino hotel, and yet there's actual humans that live down here that are struggling to find a way out.
Rest in peace. Star Demon Psycho Dakota.
Yeah, famous is an understatement.
What's up, dog?
Yesterday I tried a fucking DMV.
Oh shit. Hey, why do you tell me there's a cat there?
Oh yeah, she's pregnant. I'm sorry.
Motherfucker, I almost had a heart attack.
Oh my god, she's huge.
Jay, these are our new friends. This is Emily. And
Hi, Jay. How you
Hi,
doing?
Jay, I'm Steve. Nice to meet you.
I know, Steve. Yeah.
is it cool if we turn the cameras on?
Yeah, have at it.
Are you sure?
All kinds of great stuff to see down here.
Jay's been living in the tunnels for 8 years. He doesn't have a lot of possessions, but he loves his cats. As do I.
This scratching post is
Yeah.
so good. My cat doesn't have one that
No,
good.
I tell you what, if you flip it over, it's got like, I bet you somebody probably paid like $100 at the, like a pet store. It's like really highly quality built, I guess. And right out of the dumpster.
But you've got a good setup here, Jay. Like, would you mind just showing us?
Yeah, I got like the bed with pallets here. I just got a mattress somebody gave me, but it's really not much because you don't need much to start with. And whatever you have, like when it does start to rain, as soon as it starts to rain, once the ground is wet, we have tops 30 minutes and it'll be flooding. So 30 minutes sounds like a long time. So like just move yourself up to the shelf or something, not so much. And regardless if you have a dam, like have a dam out front, like that will stop the majority of the water. It's still everything's gonna be wet. There is no staying dry when it floods. It's wet for days.
These tunnels were built to drain rainwater away from the city. But it means that even if it rains on the outskirts of town, rainwater will still pass through this part of the tunnel. Many of the tunnel residents keep pets. Jay's breezy mood suddenly changes as he tells us what happened to his friend's cats the last time the tunnel flooded.
Frankie, we were next door in the other side, this tunnel next to mine here. And Peter was in there, Saber was in there, Laura was in there, I was in there, Frankie was in there. And I said, doesn't that sound like stuff going down my tunnel? They're like, no. I'm like, come. And then I hear Frankie, and he's running at us, like pulling a tent behind him. I'm telling those guys that we're way down at the end of the shelf, like down here. And I'm like, look out for the dam broke. I'm like, yeah, look out for the shit coming out under the water. Like, and the reason he had the tent pulling behind him was because there was 3 kittens in it. We only get 2 of them out.
Sometimes pets are what these guys treasure most.
It just sucks because we've lost a lot of pets down here in the last year. Indian Boxer lost animals every time it flooded. And I told them every time it flooded, the water is coming, the water is here, and every flood they have to be rescued.
For Jay and others living down here, there's a lot of power in having nothing. Because when the worst happens, as it regularly does, there's a small relief in having nothing to lose.
If there is someone down in the tunnels who has a pet, it's often the only thing that's ever loved them unconditionally and that they've ever loved unconditionally. And so even with the offer of help, they won't take it or leave if they have to leave their pet behind. Often the love of an animal will keep them down there just because they don't want to leave them. If it's the only unconditional love. Anyone who is in the program or in recovery of any sort will recognize a room like this. It's like the scariest place in the world, but also the best.
Just over 2 years ago, I entered recovery when my life went up in smoke. I was drinking to numb and to distract, which resulted in a dependency that nearly killed me.
You went to rehab?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very nearly died. And it's one thing that's kind of... Sorry, I always get very emotional when I talk about this. That I'm so grateful for it. And I was in a very privileged position when so many aren't. And so it makes me incredibly grateful that I was able to do that. And I went going, I'm fine. I am
That's
fine.
The class. Put that on my tombstone.
Yeah, I'm fine. And then I had these blood tests and they were like, man, your liver is fucked. And like, I'm young as well. And they were like, you're gonna die. Like, you're gonna die. And I'm so grateful for that, because had that not happened, I would have come out and carried on drinking, 100%. What happened with you? And I mean, my thing was alcohol.
Heroin was my number one. Opioids, for sure. So I was homeless for about 5 years. Lived in a beautiful establishment called the Moulin Rouge. It's a casino that's been closed for like 70 years.
Wow.
In there in like our own little apartments, it was crazy. Then I went underground. I lived underground for about 2.5 years. And by that time, I'd pretty much given up on life. You know what I mean? I just wanted to like, that classic heroin chic thing where like I just didn't want to wake up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just completely gave up. And every time I OD'd, I would like wake up, and before I was even conscious, I'd be like yelling at people, why did you wake me up? Why did you do that? Like I was almost there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't have the courage to do it myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rob shows me where his tunnel used to be.
Because they only know.
Washington. So there's Bonanza. My tunnel was here, right there. That's my tunnel.
Yeah.
Right, and it was literally right at a precipice like this. Like this. Every tunnel was very different. High walls, you had to climb down a ladder, like through a fence, so it was kind of hidden.
One day while living on the streets, Rob was attacked. It changed his life forever.
I left, and when I came back, it was kind of dark, and there was 3 guys waiting for me. They were other homeless guys. They kind of had the same hustle as me, if that makes sense, and they had an axe, a knife, and a pipe, and they hit me with it. They hit me with the hatchet a couple times. I have like a dent in my skull, stabbed me in my leg, hit me with the pipe a bunch of times. They broke my jaw. They dragged me onto those train tracks and left me for dead. I wake up 3 days later in the hospital, and I felt a hand touch my forehead, and I felt the presence of God. Like I felt it like this peaceful, beautiful feeling. So like God came to me through a shot of morphine on life support. You know what I mean? Like.
Homelessness is a problem that exists all around the world, but the contrast between rich and poor here in Vegas is magnified because they are living directly on top of each other. Joe works as a bellman for one of the big hotels on the Strip, but as a recovering addict himself, he volunteers to work with the homeless living in the tunnels. From this very unique position, he gets to see both ends of the spectrum and how big the divide is between the rich and the poor.
So, you very much have a foot quite heavily in both worlds, working at one of the really high-end hotel casinos, and then also working for Shine a Light.
I go to work and get treated, disrespected by millionaires, you know, but you go down there and you hand someone a cigarette and you just make their day and you just treat them like a person. Especially growing up here, and I never knew the tunnels existed. It's very eye-opening that like everyone knows this part of Vegas, but they don't know that 50 yards below us, people are living and they're dying down there, and there's entire communities.
The juggernaut that is the NFL Super Bowl took place in Vegas earlier this year, bringing with it millions of extra dollars for the city, but also a greater scrutiny of the homeless.
With the Super Bowl as well, and that's where we saw a lot of the people living in the tunnels being dispersed because the people who run these casinos didn't want them to be seen. When you have the world media descending on your city, you can't show anything in a negative light. It's kind of like a game of whack-a-mole. Like,
Oh wait, there's no kind of solution to the problem. They're not trying to help. They're just
absolutely
they're just
not
shoving them out.
Yeah,
there, sweeping them under the rug.
We have these global events that are generating so much money. Nevada casinos make $1 billion every month. They've done it for
$1 billion.
Yeah, it's like the Strip made 730 something last month. You know,
It feels like this is a town that is essentially Disney World. And
Yes.
nothing bad ever happens at Disney World.
Disney World for adults. Yes, and it's the homelessness, and it's the drug addiction and overdoses. It's the sex trafficking. It's all that. Like all that is here, but it's all under wraps.
If I go on the boulevard, I can't stop, stand, or sit anywhere, or I go to jail for 6 months and it's $1,000 fine for this offense. I'll write you an IOU as good as cash. Now, and it's illegal to stop, period. You see, if you're like at an elevator, you hit the button, you have to walk circles, I guess. I don't know.
Why can't you behave like anyone else?
Once you're known as labeled or branded homeless here, in my opinion, you have zero rights. That's just reality.
But for those rich and lucky enough to be allowed on the Strip, this place becomes their playground at night.
A lot of these casinos are touting gaming and gambling responsibly, and that's not really the case. It's same thing with kind of the alcohol industry. It's around 80% of all alcohol sales are fueled by binge drinkers, and it's the same thing with repeat gamblers. So they're saying that they want them to gamble responsibly, but if they did, these places wouldn't exist to this extent. In this town, especially, if you're not spiritually fit, like, this town will destroy you. Like, if you don't have a vice, you will find one. Whether it's booze, drugs. If you come to this town and you don't think that you got a lock on everything, 24-hour town, whether it's food, whether it's women, whether it's sex, whether it's gambling, whether it's drugs, whether it's alcohol. Yeah.
If you want it, if you're looking for it, it's going to be so...
Yes.
On our way out of the tunnels, we bump into Irish, who used to live here but recently found accommodation above ground. So how long have you been down here?
12 years.
12 years, wow.
Yeah. So my son was killed, and
I'm so sorry.
yeah, all because we got a full football scholarship. Some of his teammates were jealous that we shot her. And I died that day. Sooner or later, nobody gets it.
Yeah.
Not the choice to try the alcohol material, but no, they interfere and get to that homeless arresting.
Yeah.
They want all their money.
Yeah, yeah,
To be honest, they'll just take everybody's money.
yeah.
They're trying to make it all even now, where if I give you money, I'll get in trouble.
they're making it illegal. So if someone gives you $50, $20, $5, then that is,
They want money.
then they're going to be fined if they give you money.
That's what they're trying to do. You know, it's job, it's hard.
Yeah.
And people say, hey, you're bombing Jesus, easy way out of life. Nothing easy about this.
This is survival day to day. It's not.
Irish, do you think the people that visit Vegas, that come here for the casinos, hotels, whatever, do you think they know people are living in such hardship?
So they call them mopes down there and stuff. They sound like shop, they'll rob them and get robbed. They robbed off from this area and get out. They don't want us near the tourists. They want all the tourists, but it's calling for them to put a quarter in that. They come here. We have all these people out the street. These are the most messed up clothes I've ever seen in my life. Oh, Vegas. They saw that because I see on TV and all. Oh, some never 10 men. It's not right. It's not fair. It's so creepy.
This is a city that is run on mainly on tourism, and it's anyone's business what they want to do with their own money and how they want to live their life. And if they're coming here and spending a lot of money, they're going to expect a certain level of treatment and luxury. But it just does seem wild that there is someone who can come here and play 500 grand at a blackjack table without even thinking about it. The correlation between all of it is this understanding that they are a problem for the city. This seems to be this general consensus that nobody wants to see them. And this isn't a problem that is specific to Vegas. This is a global issue, of course. But the extreme dichotomy here is just blinding. I mean, being down in the tunnels and looking up through the grates and being able to see Caesar's Palace. And this is a city that is known for wealth and glamour and hedonism everywhere underneath. There are these people living, surviving.